Time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on 95.1 FM, weather always comes first. A wet pattern will continue across the Pacific Northwest, where locally heavy rainfall is expected. Critical fire weather conditions continue over the leeward areas of most of the Hawaiian Islands. And another batch of fire weather concerns is going to be possible across eastern New Mexico and the Texas Panhandle. Closer to home, sunny, warm, and gusty today. Remember, temperatures fall on Thursday. We're going to have another look at the weather following this news. Well, today is Election Day, and polls are open from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. Remember to visit nmvote.org in order to register or update your voter registration. We heard from Alamogordo Mayor Susan Payne.
We do have 4 commissioner seats up in the city of Alamogordo, as well as some school board members. We do have some bond initiatives, and we also have a review of the city charter that a lot of folks worked on for quite a few months to get ready for this election.
We also heard from Stephanie DuBois, who's running for village trustee in Tularosa.
You know, whatever happens, happens. We may get a new mayor, we may get a new judge, and that's what we'll see. So hopefully the people will do their right and go out there and vote and then see what happens.
Election sites include the Sergeant Willie Estrada Memorial Civic Center, the Tay Special Events Center, and the Otero County Fairgrounds. Keep Alamogordo Beautiful is excited to announce the launch of the new Request Board, a one-stop shop for residents to request yard work assistance and other services in order to help keep our community looking its best. Requests can include things like lawn mowing, weed removal, removing graffiti, repairing damaged sidewalks, and other such projects. Visit keepalamogordobeautiful.org for details. Tularosa High School is going to be holding a Veterans Day Assembly on Thursday at 10:30 a.m. They invite all local veterans to the high school gymnasium to partake in this special event. The World Diabetes Day Awareness Event is happening next Tuesday, a week from today, from 4:30 to 6 at the White Sands Mall. Discussions are going to include screening and prevention, self-management programs, and increasing physical activity. If you have any questions, call 575-437-0231. Community members are invited to participate with the Lincoln National Forest Sacramento Ranger District presentation on a wide variety of topics, and also to answer your questions regarding the 16 Springs Landscape Vegetation Reduction Projects. That's happening next Thursday, November 16th from 6 until 7:30 at the 16 Springs Volunteer Fire Department in Cloudcroft. Well, today is Election Day, so we're going to once again hear this message from Pastor Johnny Walker regarding your voice and your vote.
This is Johnny Walker with this week's introspection. Just giving you something to think about. As we approach the upcoming elections, I want to remind you of the power you hold within your hands, the power to shape the future of our great nation. Throughout this campaign season, candidates will vie for your support. Their promises will fill the air with hope, ambition, and determination. And while every vote counts, let us not forget the significance of our responsibility after the election. In these turbulent times, it is paramount that we elect leaders who not only seek our vote, but who will also take care of each and every one of you. Your voice, your dreams, and your aspirations should not vanish into the abyss once the cherished ballot has been cast. You are more than a vote. You are the heart and the soul of this community, the backbone of a democracy that thrives on your active engagement and the future that we are building together. Your vote matters, but do you? Too often politicians come knocking on doors, shaking hands, and promising the world during election cycles, only to disappear once the victory is claimed. We must not allow this practice to continue. Hold those running for office accountable to the commitments they make. Prioritize their track record and integrity, and question their loyalty to your values, your hopes, and your dreams. Do not settle for mere rhetoric. Demand real change, real progress that will uplift all of us, not just a privileged few. Let us not be swayed by empty promises or short-term gain. Let us instead focus on the long-term impact and hold our leaders accountable. In the coming weeks and months, listen carefully, examine their plans, and judge them not only by their speeches, but by their actions and their commitment to the betterment of all Americans. Our vote, your vote, has the power to change lives, to uplift communities, and to fortify our nation. Together, we will build a future that surpasses the challenges we face. Together, we will ensure that the promises of yesterday become the realities of tomorrow. Together, we will prove that your vote was never taken lightly, but held with the utmost reverence and gratitude for the tremendous privilege it bestows upon us. Your vote matters, but do you? This is Johnny Walker. You can come and visit us at 3001 Thunder Road, Sunday mornings for worship at 10:30 a.m. Or you can just listen to us right here every Tuesday on Crazy Radio.
News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
AlamogordoTownNews.com is a locally owned website featuring local news matters from a local perspective that affects you, and we bring it to you directly. Plus, local sports, cultural arts, and events. Online, AlamogordoTownNews.com. Owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
A judge has declared a mistrial for Kelly Smith. That's the Carlsbad woman charged in her grandson's overdose death. The trial was set to begin on Monday, November 6th, but Judge David Finger's office said they could not seat a jury from the selected pool of candidates. Police arrested Kelly Smith and her daughter Alexis Smith after they found 12-year-old Brent Sullivan unresponsive in a shed back in 2021. Investigators believe Kelly and Alexis were dealing fentanyl and that the boy had taken drugs from their stash. They say he overdosed on 3 separate occasions before he died, never once being taken to the ER. Kelly Smith has been charged with child abuse and intentional child abuse resulting in death. Alexis Smith was convicted of child abuse and intentional child abuse resulting in death. This past Wednesday, Judge Lisa Riley sentenced Alexis Smith to 14 years. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham extended executive orders declaring gun violence a public health emergency. The public health emergency also aims toward substance misuse. The renewal extends the emergency order until December 1st.
If there's an emergency, and I've declared an emergency for a temporary amount of time, I can invoke additional powers. No constitutional right, in my view, including my oath, is intended to be absolute.
So you're okay with taking away the rights of the people?
None of these rights are absolute. We go to a judge.
The governor released a press release on Thursday which provided data from Albuquerque and Bernalillo County, stating that since September 8th, there have been 1,441 arrests, 86 guns seized, and 2,511 traffic citations issued. The release also states that no guns have been found in Albuquerque public schools since October 5th, while ignoring other schools that have had recent scares with guns. Brian Festa of We the Patriots spoke with KOAT.
We feel very strongly that the governor's revised order was issued actually in brazen opposition to the court's temporary restraining order.
The governor claims that her executive order sends a clear message that the safety and well-being of residents are top priorities. Representative Gabe Vasquez brings together illegal migrant workers who specialize in healthcare, oil and gas, education, and more.
Far too long, I think some of our immigrant workers have been in the shadows. Folks conveniently ignore that they're doing these critical jobs.
The representative has been working on bills that he says will crack down on human smuggling and drug trafficking at the border, but also additional laws that will promote rights for illegal migrants in the state trying to make a living. But not everyone agrees.
I think the more pressing need right now is to secure the southern border because we've left ourselves just so wide open.
Former Representative and current candidate Yvette Harrell.
Let's open up our economy. Let's make it easier for our small businesses to stay open. And then let's talk about reform down the road. But the priority has to be securing that southern border.
The Republican Party of New Mexico states that the Vasquez plan will still allow terrorists, fentanyl, and human traffickers to cross through into New Mexico easily and safely.
We just need to have common sense, and we just need to be able to believe that we can work together in a bipartisan way to help solve some of these issues and not turn it into a political football.
Vasquez restating the goal is the same for parties, both Democrat and Republican, but also claims a compromise must be met to satisfy all sides. One of the most recent concerns surrounding veterans and mental health was the mass shooting which happened in Maine, killing 18 people. The shooter was a military veteran who was suffering mental health issues. Did you know that 3 of the 10 most deadliest mass shootings in U.S. history were at the hands of veterans? A New Mexico VA clinical psychologist says this is concerning.
We forget that the vast majority of military members come back and enrich our communities. That they come back and go to work, they raise kids, they teach in our schools, they serve everywhere. And that's the research I know, that these men and women who serve don't stop serving.
Brenda Wayne, a clinical psychologist for the New Mexico VA Medical Center, speaking with KOAT. Police found the suspect from the Maine mass shooting dead by suicide. In order to combat this issue, one veteran is working on ClearForce, which is a software program to reach veterans before it's too late.
About 1% of American population is wearing its uniform today. So about 1% of our entire population is serving this nation in uniform. As a veteran, I fall into a population that's somewhere between 6 and 7%. So now you take yourself out of that very close-knit unit safety envelope, supported network, and then you go out in society. If you don't find yourself in that 6 or 7%, you kind of don't know who to talk to.
Michael Hudson, Vice President of Insider Risk and Suicide Prevention for ClearForce. Hudson says that the methods used right now puts the bulk of the work on the veterans.
ClearForce wants to flip that model. We want to use data and technology anchored on privacy and compliance to allow organizations to outreach.
According to the Department of Defense Suicide Annual Reports, although rates appear slightly lower than in 2020, suicide rates continue to gradually increase from 2011 through 2022. Hudson says he's working to hopefully get the software program started here in New Mexico. Now, if you're a veteran and in need of help, right now you can reach out to the national hotline by dialing 988. That's 988. You served us. Now please allow the people to help you. Sports and weather are next. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in New Mexico is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, it just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the New Mexico Activities Association and the New Mexico Athletic Directors Association.
There are 55 matches for New Mexico volleyball today, including Centennial at Oregon Mountain, Deming at Silver, Hondo at Carrizozo, Cloudcroft at Mescalero, Dexter at Ruidoso, Cobre at Hatch, and Las Cruces comes to Alamogordo. Go Lady Tigers! This past Friday, your Tularosa Wildcats were victorious in their quarterfinals game against Jal 42-6. I spoke with Coach Mike Filicetti to see what was next.
We go face Eunice, and I think the kids are real excited, and the coaches are real excited, and we're looking forward to this one.
The Tularosa Wildcat football team is in the state semifinals, and once again, that game will be in Eunice, 3 p.m. on Saturday. There are 8 games scheduled for New Mexico football for Friday. Those games include New Mexico Military Institute at West Las Vegas, Hobbs at Cleveland, Mayfield at Roswell, and Las Cruces at Centennial. Your Crazy Radio spot on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for sunny skies, winds gusting as high as 21 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight, sunny tomorrow, winds gusting as high as 24. Your high today in the basin, 78. Low tonight, 52. High tomorrow, 75 degrees. In Cloudcroft, sunny skies today with winds gusting as high as 39 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight, winds gusting as high as 32. Sunny tomorrow, winds gusting as high as 39. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 58. Low tonight of 39. High tomorrow, 54 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.com, and learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. Also, be sure to check out the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel. That's where we post our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. That concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.